so let us go to the next method over here, that is called the variation of parameters method. So in the last section we had seen the method of undetermined coefficients, right, where we could find a solution to a non-homogeneous second order differential equation with constant coefficients. Okay, so method of variation of parameters is also another method to do the same thing, but it's little more powerful and it covers a bigger class of functions. Okay, so for example, the method of variation of parameters, we could have covered only the problems which I gave you the 5 or 6 standard rules over there, right? So only the functions which are of those 5 or 6 standard categories, they can be solved using method of variation of parameters. But method of undetermined coefficients. But method of variation of parameters gives you a much larger set of functions on it, on which it will work. Okay, but this one also has some problems of its own kind. Okay, because some of its problems may not have you may not be able to integrate after a particular point and get the answer. That might also happen over here. Okay, so it's not that the variation of parameters will work on a very large class, but it works on a little bigger class than method of undetermined coefficients. Okay, but there might be some problems which you can solve by undetermined coefficients but not here. That can also happen, but I doubt there is any example of that kind. Okay, but yeah, we can do some problems which couldn't be solved last time can be surely solved this time. That is more important to us. Okay, so let us start with this method. So method of variation of parameters. Variation of parameters. Okay. Okay. So consider a differential equation. Consider the differential equation y double prime px y prime, okay, q over x of y is equal to r of x. Okay, where px qx are functions of x. Okay, where px and qx are functions of x. Now see, in method of undetermined coefficients, we had treated this quantities p and q as constants, but here I can use functions or variable terms. Okay, so this makes this method more powerful than undetermined coefficients. But yeah, we in this section which I'm currently solving problems, I'll be only doing problems with constant coefficients. In the next section, we'll deal with some problems with functions as the coefficients. Okay. So right now today what I'm going to solve will be only p and q as constants. In the next class we'll deal with p of x and q of x as functions. Okay. Yeah. So let us start with this. This is the given equation. Okay. Okay. Consider the corresponding. The associated or corresponding associated homogeneous equation will be homogeneous equation is y prime y q of x y is equal to 0. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's call this as equation 1. Okay, equation 1, and call this as equation 2. Okay. So let y1 of x and y2 of x be solutions of, okay, since it's a second order equation, we should get two solutions. Okay, two linearly independent solutions of the solutions of two linearly independent solutions of 2. Okay, then the general solution of 2 will be y of x is equal to sum a times y1 of x b times y2 of x. I'm not using c1 c2 because I will have to use them somewhere later on in this expression what I'm doing now. Okay, so this I'm just use the constants for a and b. Okay, where a b are arbitrary constants. Arbitrary constants. Okay, done. So now with this piece of information, I want to find a particular solution, okay, or particular integral using this solution. You want to guess a particular integral for a particular solution. Some books they call this particular solution. Guess a particular solution to the original differential equation. Okay, that is one. So let yp of x, the particular integral, be equal to v1. I write my v like this. Just be careful. Okay, this is a v with that some cursive v or something. This is called. So v of 1 of x into y1 of x plus v2 of x, small v this is, where v1 of x and v2 of x are functions to be found. Are functions to be found. Okay. This functions to be found. So we have to do some tricks over here and find out the values of v1 of x and v2 of x. Okay. So we are just guessing this integral. Okay. So this is kind of a guesswork we are doing. This guesswork will work only if we find out the functions v1 and v2. If you can't find out the functions v1 and v2, that means your guess is wrong. Okay. So you cannot find out the solution using this method as such, kind of. Okay, that will not generally happen, but I'm just saying. Okay, in case this v1 and v2 cannot be found. Okay. Or it might be possible that you have made a mistake in your assumption. It might be that y1 and y2 are not linearly independent. They have taken the same solution twice. Okay, if you have done that, I mean, same solution means y2 is a scalar multiple of y1. It's just a, if this is sin x, then this is 2 times sin x. If this is x square, then this will be 2x square or something like that. Just a multiple of it. So that might also be possible if you cannot find v1 and v2. Okay. Yeah. So now let me find out the derivatives. Since yp is a solution of this, it should satisfy if yp is the solution of 1, it should satisfy 1. Okay, if the solution of 1, then it should satisfy 1. Okay, so let me take derivatives of this and then substitute. Yp prime of x. What will this be? You have a product of two functions over here in x, right? So we write this as v1 prime of x, keep y1 as it is, plus keep v1 as it is and multiply it with y prime of x. So same thing repeat with the second term, v2 prime of x multiplied by y2 of x and keep v2 as it is, y2 here, derivative of y2. Okay, so I'll just collect the terms together which have derivatives accordingly. So this will be v1, I'll collect the v prime derivatives here. And v2 prime of x. Okay, so this will be v2 prime of this thing so this will collect the terms here. This will be v1 of x v1 of x into y1 prime of x plus v2 of x into y2 prime of x. Okay, so this is what we get here as yp prime of x. Okay, now before going ahead, I have to take the second derivative also of this expression, and I have to get yp double prime, right? So what I'll do is, instead of yp double prime I have to get, so if I go to take the double prime directly now, I'll end up with, I'll end up with double prime of this expression. V double prime, v1 double prime will come and v2 double prime will also come. right? But if I end up in dealing with v1 and v2 double prime, it will be as good as solving another differential equation over there of second order, right? So we want to avoid that. Okay, so we want to, or we wish to avoid terms like v1 prime of x, v1 double prime of x and v2 double prime of x. Okay, because to simplify, see, our end goal is to find out what is v1 and v2. We don't know what's v1 and v2. To simplify v1 of x and v2 of x, we will have to solve a second order differential equation. Okay, it becomes as good as doing the entire problem all over again. So we want to avoid this situation. So what we do, okay, so we put this expression v1 prime of x into y1 of x plus v2 prime of x into y2 of x is equal to 0. Okay, so we put this quantity to be equal to 0. Okay, so then what will be yp prime? When I'm saying putting a function equal to 0, we write it like this. So this means it's 0 for all values of x. Okay, so this is equivalent to 0, you can say, or the function is the 0 function. Okay, for all values of x. Yeah, so hence yp prime of x will remain only as the other term which was there, that was v1 of x to y1 prime of x plus v2 of x so now what will be yp double prime? Take the derivative of this expression, we'll end up with v1 prime of x into y1 prime of x plus v1 of x into y1 double prime of x. Okay, so this is what we will get if we will do this. So collecting all the terms together, is there anything to collect here together? No, so let it be like this only. So substitute in y double prime plus p of x y prime plus q of x y. Okay, substitute these values then. So what you will get? Yp prime, I'll write that step off. So you'll get yp prime plus px prime okay, substitute over there now. This entire big expression you put in. Oh, like this. So v1 prime of x y1 double prime of x, okay, plus v2 prime of x v2 prime of x into y2 prime of x, okay, plus v2 y2 prime of x, okay, plus p of x into v1 okay, and then you have plus okay, so what we'll do now, we'll collect the terms in terms of y1, y2 and y1 and y2, okay. So no, sorry, we'll collect the terms in v1 and v2. I said it wrong. One more thing we'll do, we'll stop writing this x, okay, we'll just write v1, v2, y1, y2 and p and q, okay, just to make our notation short, otherwise it's going to become very lengthy. Okay, so I have here v1 of x, I'll just write v1, okay. So v1 has the multiple here multiplied by y1 double prime. Here v1 is multiplied by p of x into y1 prime of x. So I'll write it as p y1 prime, okay, and this is going to be q into y1. y2 y2 prime, sorry, here there's a p, and q y2. Yeah, two terms have remained out, that is this term and this term. So let us write it down. We'll write them together only. v1 prime into y1 prime and v2 prime into y2 prime. And this entire expression is equal to Rx. Okay. So this being said, now but y1 y1 and y2 are solutions of y double prime plus p y prime plus q y. Okay, so that is, what do you mean, y1 double prime y2 double prime plus p y1 prime plus q y1 should be equal to 0. In other words, y1 and y2 satisfy this equation over here, right? p y2 Okay, so these two quantities are 0 in that expression. So what will remain with you? Thus, what remains is only v1 y1 prime plus v2 okay. So now we have two equations here with v1 and v2 prime. Where is the first one, by the way? Yes. So call this as equation number, we'll call this as equation star. And this is equation 2 star. Okay, star and 2 star we got. Okay, so hence we have, just writing. Okay. Okay, so hence we have two equations with us. What are they? And this should be 1. It's equal to Rx. Okay. So from here, okay, so from this system We'll call this as 3 star. From this system, 3 star we solve for V1 prime and V2 prime. Okay, then we can integrate and get the answer over here. Okay, so have you learned Cramer's rule by the way in the algebra paper? Okay, so I can apply Cramer's rule over here and I can get the answer. So what will be Cramer's rule for this system? My unknowns are V1 prime and V2 prime. Okay, so from Cramer's rule I conclude that V1 prime of x, this should be equal to, it will be determinant of 0 r of x, and here you will get y1 y2 upon this determinant y1 prime y2 prime. Sorry, this is y2 prime. y2 prime. Okay, and v2 will be prime will be equal to y1 prime. This is equal to 0 rx and the same determinant below, so y1 y2 y1 prime y2 prime. Okay, the numerator we can easily simplify. The numerator expression we can easily simplify as minus r1 r of x y2 of x, and the denominator will call it w, and v2 prime of x, this becomes y1. We'll write rx term first now. Rx into y1 of x upon w, where w is equal to the determinant of y1 prime y2 prime. Okay, is called the Wronskian of the, it's named after a mathematician called Wronskian. Okay, Wronskian of the solutions y1 and y2. Okay, I'll give you more details about this tomorrow. Okay, but right now we'll finish this thing. So we have that v1 is equal to this, right? So what will be v1 prime is equal to this, so v1 will be what? So v1 of x is going to be integral of minus rx y2 of x upon w dx. Okay, w will be a function of x, so I'll better write it as like that. Okay, it need not be a constant, or sometimes it becomes a constant, we'll see in the examples, but in general it can be a function. And v2 of x will be r of x into y2 of x. Okay, so this will be a v1 and v2. Okay, Hence, the required particular integral will be yp of x is equal to, see I had written v1 into, I'll write it again, v1 y1 plus v2 y2, but now because there's an integral sign involved, I'll write y1 first, otherwise it will create some other confusion. Yeah, one more thing I can do is I can keep the minus sign out. So okay, plus y2 times this integral rx y1 of x this is also a function of x, this is also a function of x, this is a function of x. Okay, so this will be a particular integral, and hence your general solution will be the sum of the complementary function and this. Okay, then the general solution will be y of x is equal to yc of x plus yp of x. Okay, I think so I have not used the word yc over there in the beginning. For y is equal to a y1x and b y2x. Just write yc over there. Okay, so with this we'll stop. Tomorrow we'll do the examples based on this. Okay, so either you'll by heart this formula or by heart this formula for v1 and v2, or you can manually solve the problem every time using this Cramer's rule on this equation over here. You'll by heart the formula or by heart this set of equations and then solve the problem accordingly without if you can't remember Cramer's rule and all these things, then solve it in any other method. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll continue with some examples on this. Okay, bye bye.